All right, you ready?
But yeah.
Go.
What's up,
okay,
bro?
we
What's
talking
up?
about the Kanye West comments. Let's go. Get it.
Yeah. Okay. So he said it was a choice. The only choice that they made when the Dutch, sorry,
16,
they sailed
16,
on
19.
Yeah, no. In 1619,
Yeah.
20, there was 20 black men on that boat. 20 black men on that boat. When they came over as indentured servants. They signed an indenture. That stated that they would work the land for a certain amount of years, and then once that was over, they would get that land. Okay?
Yeah.
That was a choice. That was their only choice, to go over there and find work somehow to create a better life so they could then get their families over there. Okay? That was the choice. It wasn't a choice. The first known slave to man was John Punch. John Punch ran away from his
Master.
so-called overseer. So-called overseer, because they weren't called master at the time. So-called overseer of the land, because he was getting treated unfairly. He ran away with, it was John Punch and 2 white servants. John Punch ran away with those white servants. So, I'm dead ass. This is history. This is Dion. Invite Dion.
This man.
Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so they came up. So John Punch ran away from his servant. So ran away from his overseer with 2 white servants. After they were caught, all 3 of them were caught. The judge ordered John Punch to serve his overseer for the rest of his life. That was the very first slave. John Punch was the very first slave. Okay, that was that. So from there we have Antonio the Negro. That's what they called him, Antonio the Negro. Antonio the Negro was a free man, a black man who lived in the what we call now the United States, but of course it wasn't called that then. So Antonio the Negro was a free man who had worked and owned that land, had over 13 acres of land, and they came and took his land and turned him into a slave. That wasn't a choice. And from then on, the cycle continued. So for him to say that slavery was a choice is ridiculous. But he didn't even bring up the fact that slaves freed themselves. Abraham Lincoln never freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln, everybody knows Abraham Lincoln as the great emancipator, but he never wrote the Emancipation Proclamation to free slaves. He wrote the Emancipation Proclamation in order to scare the South into rejoining the Union. Because at this point, when he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, the Union already the Confederacy had already seceded from the Union, and they were their own country with their own governing rules. So he wrote a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation that told the South, you have 100 days to rejoin the Union. If you don't rejoin the Union within 100 days, we're going to take your slaves. He knew that if he called their ass out over they fucking slaves, that's the backbone of the South. The slaves were the backbone of the South. So after the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, he signed the official Emancipation Proclamation. Once the official Emancipation Proclamation went into effect, the slave owners and everybody in the South didn't abide by those rules because they're their own country at this point. The slaves heard about the Emancipation Proclamation and walked off the plantation. That was their choice. They never chose to be inside of bondage. John Punch never chose to be to serve his master the rest of his life. He never chose that. Antonio the Negro never chose to get his land taken away from him. How can Kanye say it was a choice? How? I just don't understand. Does that still sound like a choice, chat? Does it? You said what, Chris? Here, I got a pump for you. Chris, turn around. Can you hear me? Is chat still here? Oh, okay. I have to make sure chat heard my whole thing. I don't understand. I just don't understand how Kanye can even think to say it was a choice. Like, that's wild. That's wild. Kanye West is my favorite rapper. My favorite artist. He's still my favorite. I mean, you can't take away his discography. You can't take that away. He's not racist, but he's ignorant. How do you feel about that, Chris? How do you feel about that? He doesn't know enough for Black history. All he knows is he was enslaved for black for 400 years. He can't know that John Punch was the first slave forced into slavery. He can't know that. There's no way. There's no way he knows that Antonio the Negro got his land taken away from him just because he was a black man with over 13 acres of land. There's no way. There's no way.
I'm talking about Chris and D. Holmes. Did y'all know that John Punch was the first slave? I didn't know that. Yes, I'm on here learning. My bad. My mic was on mute. But yeah, like,
but that's what I'm saying,
you can't give the excuse that Kanye's just being Kanye with this one.
No,
that excuse is overused. That excuse is overused at this point.
That's crazy because people been landing here all day.
Yeah. Guess they over it. Yeah. You better rack up on material. I feel that.
Fuck that. I do. I know.
Nigga, that's your major.
I'm gonna go at his ass all the time. See, I need to have a conversation with him.
Do
Not
you?
Harvey
Your donut thing messed up right now. I messed it up.
Harvey
Big at work.
Nothing about slavery. He don't know nothing about slavery.
You said who?
Harvey Levin, the nigga from TMZ, he don't know nothing about slavery. He was just sitting there listening to slavery.
And honestly, a lot of people don't. They just know it was bad. Like when somebody was Umar. I was listening to Umar talk on his podcast, and he was talking about how the slave master used to just, they'll rape the slave, and then the slave would have to go fix that man dinner right after they got raped. Like that's inhuman, fool.
Yeah, but you gotta think though. When Willie Lynch taught slave owners how to break a slave and how to make a slave work for you, but here's the thing. Kanye said it was a choice. Kanye said it was a choice. And this is the crazy thing about it. When the slaves first got here, the slaves were rebellious. The slaves were doing things to, like, you know what I'm saying? The slaves was cool and they wasn't going off their. They didn't know how to control their. They didn't know how to control their slaves until really.
One of y'all need a green AR. One of y'all need a green AR.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get the Kanye, because he's a hot topic right now. Very hot topic.
So once Willie Lynch wrote that letter about how to control the slaves, the way he taught them was to break them like an animal. And that's why a lot of this stuff is like weak, like unhuman. Like,
yeah,
they taught them to break their slaves like a horse.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. That shit really hurt me, bro. That shit really hurt me.
When he said it.
That's my idol. Yes, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
That's my. He said that
slavery was a choice.
He said 400 years, like for 400 years.
One of y'all need an AR?
400 years of slavery sounds like.
She could put it in his ear. You think? No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. Kanye would always say what was on his chest. This is Kanye. This is that year that we didn't hear from Kanye. This is the Kanye that has been around. Oh dang, y'all didn't let nobody know y'all were leaving. We in the circle.
Yeah, I'm glad now. I was hoping you was okay. I thought you were
But yeah, that jump's wild. That's a couple days in a row. Kanye has made headlines. How y'all feel about the song? Well, not the song, you know, the hat. The hat made the song not as. I mean, the song made the hat not as bad, but this is. Okay. He cooned it.
You just let me know when you get close to something like you do it. Unlock it over. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
How? But Trump is a. But yeah,
I missed the first couple of.
But yet the
what we talking about? What we talking about?
Dang, what was we talking about? That was good. Trump. Kanye. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. It makes sense that Kanye West is a Republican. He makes enough money for him to be a Republican. He makes enough money for him to be a Republican. Of course, he would want
to keep more money. Yeah.
Of course, he would want that. But the only problem is he can't support a man. Like he can't support a man who stands for nothing but hate. That's the problem. When he made songs like Crack Music, made songs like New Slave.
Yeah, it's all a contradiction to what he.
What? Like, and he said like his mother was arrested for a sit-in. Am I tripping, or is there not that many people this game? Because it's only 25 people.
I'm telling you, fool. I have not seen nobody. I wonder, I need to kill him in
They can't. No, bro, we had to get in a server when it wasn't that many people. Cause
hey,
Dusty
did y'all anybody need a slurp juice or some shield? Send them on. Where y'all at? We spread out. Yeah.
Salty. I'm in salty.
Hold up. I'm red, of course. We need to group up. There's 23 people left, and the circle is slick huge. It's gonna end in salty though. You heard me. I ain't got no W since I played with y'all. I got a porta fort too. Yeah. I'm right here. Come on. Hey, we gotta get on the H1Z1 too. But yeah, hey, what was you saying, Sauce? That was good stuff.
I just don't understand, bro. Like,
understand Ye at this point?
Yeah, I just don't understand Kanye at this point. Like, I've always considered Kanye a genius, and I think that's a part of the problem. I think people calling him a genius has literally gone him off. And then the crazy thing is, Kim Kardashian, when he gets home at night, Kim Kardashian ain't gonna do nothing but take care of that man.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, if I get shot at him, get shot at him.
Where they at? Do I need this light machine gun?
Southwest.
I just got it. Where they at? I'm right behind you, Sauce.
Oh, it's over.
I didn't switch weapons. That's my bad.
We got 6 trades. That's good, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's good, but I ain't getting no kills though.
I didn't. Well, I got one knock, but